So how do you check your Citrix Health? Well, there's not a single tool that's going to allow you to do that. If you're running on-prem, Citrix Director does give you some general guidelines of whether your delivery controllers are communicating correctly, your VDAs are registering correctly, but there's no specific tool that's going to allow you to check to say your Citrix environment is optimally performing, because Citrix is so complex with all of the different layers. The user layer, the access layer, the control layer, the resource layer, the operations layer, that there's multiple components in the complexity of it that you have to look at it holistic. So the best option that you can do, or the best bet you can do, is to check your Citrix environment is to perform regular health checks on it, assessments on it. Recommend doing that at least once a year. That way you make sure that there's not been a vulnerability that's released or patches that's been released in the last year that you have not applied to make you vulnerable. So by doing the health check at least once a year, we make sure that all of the leading practices are done, all the optimizations are done. You may have multiple people in your environment that is managing your environment, so that way one person may not be aware of the other. This gives you a holistic kind of health check or assessment to make sure that you're staying up to date in compliance on your Citrix environment. So after the assessment, what do? We give you a documentation. Now what do? Well, you can actually do, we can actually also provide remediation, where we actually come in and help you. You may not understand how to implement those leading practices that we suggested to you. So with the remediation piece of it, we can come in and work with your engineers, your Citrix engineers, and help them implement these leading practices in optimization. So that way we're actually training your team as well to help, provide them, train them to be better Citrix, to help you support your Citrix environment a little bit better.